Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Anything for Sports podcast. My name is Drew Jackson. We're here today with Trinity Buchanan, a freshman at UNLV. She plays for a UNLV soccer team. I'm going to go over the list of some of her accomplishments and accolades. She was named the 2022-2023 Gatorade Player of the Year and the 2023 Division 5A State Player of the Year. She received first team All-State honors twice. She led Coronado Cougars to a 60-4-7 record and a 2021 NIA 5A state championship. And she finished her career with 33 goals and 33 assists, and also led her team to the 2022-2023 5A state championship game. She's currently ranked in TDS's top 25 in the country for freshmen. Trinity, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So kind of want to get right into it. Want to talk about your early career and early beginnings. How did you start playing soccer?
I played probably rec for a little bit with my cousins. A couple of us were playing together. Super fun. And then they actually wanted to play club. So I think I just wanted to be with them and follow suit. So long story short, here I am. And I've been playing club I ended last year, obviously, because I'm in college, but played for probably 10 years, 11 years of my life. So that was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was soccer the first sport you played?
I actually did gymnastics too.
Okay.
But soccer, I think I stuck with it the most. I did gymnastics, then it kind of got a little too much, then switched over.
You also played a little bit of basketball.
Yes.
And that was up through middle school?
It was, I think a little bit before middle school and then all throughout, so 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then I was going to do it high school, but then I decided not to. Yeah.
So what position in soccer and what position in basketball?
For basketball, I think I was a point guard, a guard.
Okay.
And then for soccer, attacking mid. I've kind of been going a little all over the place for UNLV, but that's my main position.
Was there anything specific that made you choose where you said, okay, I'm not going to do basketball in high school, just going to stick to soccer?
Like why I did it?
Yeah.
I think I have more love for the game of soccer than I do basketball. Like I love both of them, but I just think I just have more enjoyment playing the game of soccer.
So do you watch a lot of soccer?
I do, yeah.
Favorite soccer team?
Favorite soccer team? Okay. Well, I have a couple. Actually, obviously the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team, I would say, like internationally. But for NWSL, I would say probably, maybe I'll do two.
Okay.
The Portland Thorns or San Diego Waves, if you've ever heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite player?
I have multiple, but
Okay, go for it. Let's see the list.
Well, Sophia Smith for
Okay.
the women's game, yeah. And then I'll just do the men's game too. Messi, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it about soccer that has made you stick with it so long? Kind of from, if you think back to when you started and like early development, where it's soccer, but it's not the soccer you're playing today.
Yeah.
Compared to where you're at now, like what keeps you like engaged and involved? Like what do you like about it?
Dang, that's a good question. I just love everything about it. I think building the relationships on and off the field is a big part of it, and you just learn so many life lessons playing, a sport, any sport. And I think for me, I've just learned so much about, life playing it, whether that's teamwork, whether that's communication skills, leadership skills, and just self-confidence and going after just aspirations that you want to go after in life. And I think soccer has been a good outlet for me to realize and discover a lot about myself. So I'm thankful for that.
What is the toughest part about playing soccer?
I think, the games are fun, but I think the training aspect of things can be difficult because it's hard because some days you don't want to, train and go practice, but you have to learn to go out and do the things you don't want to do that day and kind of build that habit for yourself. So I think just sticking with it and believing in yourself even when the odds aren't against you.
Did you ever do track or cross country?
I did think about doing track, but I didn't end up doing it.
Because soccer, so I played soccer way back in the day, back in high school, like conditioning for soccer. Completely different than basketball. Basketball is more short distances. You're going up and down the court quick, a lot of stops. Yeah. Soccer, I just remember conditioning for outdoor. Yeah. Indoor was easy, but all the outdoor club programs was rough for me. Yes. I wasn't a long distance runner. I hated running anything that had the word miles after it. Just was not fun. So I remember like how big conditioning was, and that was a huge part of like soccer compared to basketball. Yeah. Did you find that same?
Oh, for sure. That's why I was like considering it. I actually in middle school, I did do a couple intramurals like for cross country, but then I was like this is just too much. Like, I'd rather just like train soccer and then work on my fitness on my own.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about doing track my senior year of high school, but I didn't end up following through with it. So, but I definitely think soccer is a mix of both, like long distance and like short distance sprints. So it's a good mixture.
So, coming from a family, you have 2 brothers.
Yes.
One that plays basketball currently.
Yes.
And football.
Yes.
At Coronado.
Uh-huh.
Did your parents play sports, to your knowledge?
My mom didn't, but my dad, he kind of like was all over the place. He played basketball, he played football, and he played baseball, I think, a little bit too. So he kind of did everything.
So would you say you have kind of a sports family? Do you guys watch
Oh
sports
yeah,
a
we
lot? It's like
watch
a sports
a ton
household?
of sports. We watch football, basketball. We don't really watch baseball, but we prefer basketball. And I think because I play soccer, we want to watch soccer more too. So that's definitely the 3 that we watch probably most often.
What are your feelings on soccer in the States? I think over the years, and I think the women's U.S. team has really helped out, where I think for a portion of when I was in high school playing soccer, I don't feel like watching soccer was a thing. And I'd watched, even state soccer, I didn't watch any. Everything was Premier League, and so all my favorite teams were like Man U. I think now the women's team here is forced people to say like, hey, we actually should look at MLS soccer, look at soccer in the States as being like a viable sport option to watch. And I remember going through high school, I don't know if I can name too many games stateside that I watch. Have you noticed or felt in your time like more attention even to your games, like larger crowds, people kind of paying more attention?
I think so. I think it's come a long way, and I definitely think the women's national team has made that impact, for people to come and watch the games. But even like NWSL, like the National Women's Soccer League, it wasn't really as big, but I think it's grown like so much. I mean, even like international like soccer, I think people pay more attention to that still, but I think there's a lot more crowds, a lot more people coming and wanting to support like the women's game here in the States. So
between your brother and you, are you guys both very competitive?
Yes, we are. Like, I think with anything we like do, even like it's a board game, we just get mad at each other if like one's losing or one's winning, one's losing. It's just like, I don't want to play with you anymore because we're just so competitive.
Have you guys ever played each other in either sport?
So I think I got him on soccer, but like basketball, we were at one point like the same height, but now he's like so much taller than me. So I don't even think it's going to be a close game. So we have, but I don't like to do it anymore because he just dunks on me and does whatever he wants to do. So no.
So day-to-day life of a UNLV soccer player. Talk to me about what your regiment is, training, conditioning, what the schedule looks like for you guys.
So like in season, it's been kind of different because we have 2 games per week. So usually Thursday, Sunday games. And we still practice every day. I mean, today, Mondays and Tuesdays are a little different. But usually we have a lift, I think twice a week, and then we usually practice, whether that's light or a little bit of moderate activity, throughout like each day. So but preseason was a little different. It was 2 practices per day, but that was only for a week, just to get you ready for the season to start.
Got it.
Yeah.
So did you see a huge jump between your high school training and college? Like, was there, okay, now this is serious? Were there maybe doing more weights and strength, or they're doing...
Yeah, for sure. I think weights and weight training is definitely more of a focus like here at UNLV, and in college in general. But for high school, we didn't do that much at all. We just practiced. So I think it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Like in college, whereas high school was just about, the training part of things, which I think is important too. But it's good to have a little bit of everything.
So did you have either like a sports trainer, athletic trainer, anything that you used, even just like personally outside of school during high school?
I did, and I still do. So, I have trained with a couple people. One, she used to be my coach like a while back, and I've used her, and I still use her to train whatever that's technical work or footwork. So she really helps me with that, and she's been very supportive. And I also train with 3 Elite Precision, that's their Instagram. His name's Coach Matt, and he works on acceleration and like running form. And, you work on footwork and just the speed and just to get fast. And I think that's helped me tremendously. And I'm grateful for for his support and his family support. And I also train with Julian Portugal and Mackenzie, which they've also helped me too. So I think I have a lot of people that I've been able to utilize to help me up my game in ways.
When you first started with the team, and you're going to like those first workouts,
Yeah.
conditioning, practices. Was there anything where you looked back through high school and was like, ooh, I'm glad I did that? Like
Yeah.
something that prepared you or got you ready for what you were now doing at
Oh,
UNLV?
for sure. I think the speed of game, you don't realize how much faster it is, like, compared to high school.
Right.
Because, you watch the games from afar, you're like, "Oh, it's just" like, I feel like it'd be easy to go in there, but it's not. And the first, like, week or 2, it was really hard for me to adjust, but I think as you get into it, you ease into it, you're able to get used to the speed of play and just how much faster everyone is than you. But I think that this training that I've been doing, for the past, like, couple of months really, prepared me for college.
I think that's big, especially like on the football side. People talk
Yeah.
about that a lot because you're taking kids fresh out of high school.
Yes.
You're going into college with sometimes if you've redshirted or gray shirted
Mhm.
kids who've been there for 5 years who are now 23, 24. And
Yeah.
again, the speed, the strength of the girls that you're playing against is a lot different
different.
than kind of the, Liberty and Faith Lutherans that you
Mhm.
were in high school. So that's a
Yeah.
huge jump that you're making. So it's
Yeah.
good that you felt like, hey, I was prepared and I'm
Yeah.
still now kind of preparing
Yeah.
as we kind of go through it.
Mhm.
So then looking at your first UNLV game, talk to me
Mhm.
about that experience of prepping for it.
Yeah.
Because again, practice is one thing, but
Yeah.
your first college game, what were
Mhm.
your thoughts kind of going into the game, getting ready? Was it home or away?
It was home. Yeah.
Okay, it was
Yeah.
home. So
Uh-huh.
what was that like for you? And then how did it go? Like, did it go as you
Yeah. Uh-huh.
expected? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we played a scrimmage before that. So
Okay.
that was kind of like to prep us, I would say.
Hmm.
And then we went into it. Fortunately, we lost, but so I think that was kind of a bummer, but it was a good start. I think, I mean, obviously I was nervous and excited. I think it was a whole ball of emotions, but I think overall it went good, and it's something I will never forget because it's my first college game, and I'm glad. I think I've progressed a lot from that since that game, so it's good to see the progression that I've made.
Now having some games under your belt
Mhm.
from the season,
Yeah.
I think being 3 or 4 games away from the playoffs.
Yes.
How do you feel currently? How do you
Mhm.
feel kind of looking at the rest of the schedule? I think you guys travel to Utah on
Yes.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So looking to that game and then
Mhm.
kind of the games leading out through the rest of the season, how do you feel about your freshman year so far?
Yeah. It's been so fun. It's been really fun. It's been a fun experience. Something that I always remember forever, just like the first college game. But yeah, we play Utah State this Thursday, so we'll travel there, and then we're back home on Sunday to play Boise, which is exciting. And I think just looking back on the season, it's been just a fun experience, like learning a lot about myself and just the people around me, how to adjust, and just growing my game in so many ways that I could have imagined. Like, I didn't think I'd be here, and I'm glad that I am.
So I have a very random question to
Okay.
ask. When you play soccer,
Uh-huh.
what is the typical way that you wear your hair?
So I wear, that's like a low ponytail, and then I
Okay.
like bubble braid it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like what I usually do.
I feel
Yeah.
like guys, obviously, it's
Uh-huh.
not a huge thing, but for girls, I
Yeah.
always notice there's like some
Uh-huh.
people have a particular style
Yes.
of, and you see it like that's their like
Mhm.
iconic brand.
Yeah.
Like every time you see her,
Mhm.
this is how she has her hair. So I
Yeah.
always wonder and ask people if there's like certain types of, and
Yeah.
like when I think of basketball, there's some players that wear like headbands or aren't like
Yeah.
people or high socks versus low socks. Like
Mhm.
usually players have like a certain,
Like superstition?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any of that like outside of hair?
Yeah.
Is there like
I
anything that you
I do.
wear or do?
I do. So I wear bubble braid for game days, and then I also, maybe a little weird, but I chew green gum for game day, and then I chew blue gum for practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific
Just yeah, like the
brand?
extra brand.
The extra
Yeah.
brand, green and blue.
Yeah, green for
Okay.
game day and then blue for practice.
When did, if you can remember, when did
Yeah.
that start?
Let me see.
I'm assuming it's on a game you won, where you're like,
I don't even know like how it
Yeah.
started, but I just started doing it. I think probably I would say 1 or 2 years ago. So it
Okay.
started a club, like
Okay.
the end of probably my career.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with it.
Sticking
So
with
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So looking at high school, and I'm going to look down because we're talking through some of these accomplishments because there's some big names on this list. Looking at senior year, did you have any idea that you like was Gatorade Player of the Year a goal for you?
It was. Yeah. I think when I started high school, I didn't think that would be a possibility because I just went into high school just wanting to play the varsity team. So that was like my first goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID happened in junior year. So someone previously on my Coronado team, she won Gatorade Player of the Year. And I was like, wow, I want that to be me too. Like, she makes that look possible. So I want to make that a reality for me too. So that was a goal for me, definitely, and I'm glad that I was able to win that award. So a way to top off my high school career.
Another big accomplishment, win a state championship.
Yes.
What was that season like leading up
Mhm.
to state, and then walk me through like that state championship run?
Yeah. We did awesome. So we had made it to the state championship, I believe, even my freshman year too. So we made it freshman year.
Okay. So
Um,
this was just normal for you guys.
well,
like,
yeah. I didn't play my freshman year because I was out of town, but freshman, junior, and senior year, which is pretty cool to like experience. My junior year, we were killing it. I think we probably lost only 1 or 2 games. We were ranked in the country, like we were doing really good. And then we make it to the state championship. It was up in Reno, so like Northern Nevada. And that was a fun game. I think it was 1-0, so it was a PK.
Yeah.
And I just remember after that, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was an awesome experience.
So then senior year,
Mhm.
you win Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But then you guys lost in the state championship
Yes.
game.
Yes.
And you lost to Faith Lutheran,
Mhm.
which was also the team you beat for the state championship.
Yeah, the previous year.
So talk to me about those emotions of, again, a
Yeah.
rivalry team, a
Uh-huh.
team you beat that
Mhm.
was basically now coming for their get back.
Yeah. Well,
And the game was here in Vegas?
it was at Coronado.
Oh.
We were hosting. We were hosting the
Okay.
playoffs.
So hosting the
So
state
it even
championship game, team you'd already beat.
Yes.
Walk me through that game, those feelings, like what you went into the
Yeah.
game with, and then
Yeah.
how you felt kind of coming out of it.
We played that game, like, I'm not just saying this. We like dominated the game, and I knew we had it. I knew we should have won that game. And I think mid-air when when the other team shot the ball, like I just felt defeated because you wanted to win that and bring it home, that state championship, for your final year, the icing on top of the cake, but it just didn't go our way. But you live and you learn. So
Getting the chance to play at UNLV,
Mhm.
when did when you first received kind of some attention
Mhm.
and then kind of looking towards the offer that you got,
Yeah.
how was that process for you when you were kind of deciding like where you wanted to go to
Yeah.
school? And, again, getting that first, whether it was a call or a message from UNLV that they
Mhm.
were interested, like talk
Yeah.
to me through like what your feelings were for that.
I think for anyone, like, the recruiting process is very stressful because you don't know what's ahead of you. But I knew for me that I really wanted to stay home, stay close to family, and I think just ease into the college experience because I'm still living on the dorm or in the dorms, so it's kind of like I'm still at home but away
Right.
from home in a way. But I get that outlet of being close to my family and having that just still having the college experience. So I'm glad that I was able to stay at home.
That's nice. You're
Yeah.
close enough where you say, hey, mom, come
Yeah,
pick up the
exactly.
laundry.
Exactly.
Like it's time.
Yeah, I come home probably a couple times a week. Yeah.
So you went through like the college visit
Yeah.
toward the campus, and
Yes.
how was that process? Even though it was kind of like a local college, kind
Yeah.
of going through getting to meet the coaches, getting to
Mhm.
kind of see where you'd play, the locker room
Yeah.
and stuff. What was that like?
It was really cool. So I actually I played on the field like for my couple club games, sorry. We played on the field, so I kind of had like an idea of like what
Mhm.
the campus was like. But my official visit, whatever, I took my picture, so it was cool to see the locker room and just meet the team. And I went to a couple practices, so it was good to see like those new faces that I'd be on a team with, just to get myself used to it and get them used to it, to seeing me out there too. So I think it was overall a great experience, and it was great.
So other than kind of that senior state championship
Mhm.
game, were there any major obstacles that through kind of your high school career outside of, I know, and we can talk about COVID because I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
that year was a big one.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you kind of battled through to kind of make your way to UNLV into your college freshman year?
I'm gonna say COVID because like
Yeah.
I think for some people it was kind of either a negative thing, but I think I turned that into a positive thing, and I learned a lot about myself during that period. And I think during that time I just learned to, like, I had to put a little bit more effort into everything and train a little bit more and do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. And I think that year, that whole COVID year, like really prepared me for my junior year and my senior year, and obviously I continued to work and continue to put that work in throughout my junior and senior year, and hope to continue to do that.
What would you say is the biggest thing you learned coming out of that COVID year? Again, being
Um,
away from school, away
yeah,
from friends and everything for so long. What's the biggest takeaway that you had?
I just had to put um I put a little bit more effort in. So like do whatever that is, doing the extra training, doing the I just think just train. I think that's the biggest thing, just training a little bit more because I feel like I didn't put as much effort into it as I think I should have in like middle school or elementary school. Obviously, like I'm so young, I don't
Right.
realize that. But you get older, you learn a lot more about yourself, and you put that into like real life and do it.
Do you have, so you score a lot of goals.
Mhm.
Do you have a celebration or anything like
I
a
don't.
go-to?
I feel
No?
like I should, but I don't. I don't have a celebration. I just celebrate with the team, I guess, after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never catch yourself like in
No.
the moment?
No.
Are you more of like a jump up and down, a cheer?
I guess I put my hands up and
Okay.
like yay, but I don't do like the sue
Like a
like
no.
any of the celebrations.
None of
No.
those. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, First goal at UNLV.
Mhm.
What was that feeling like?
That was an awesome feeling, and it was at home. Like I
Yeah.
think that made it even better. And I don't know if it was a third or fourth game, but been longing for that. So
Yeah.
I think it going in, I didn't even see it going. I was just like I just heard like yelling and like celebrating. So I just was so happy about that, and it was really fun to celebrate that with my teammates.
What was it like those first couple games not getting a goal? Again,
Yeah.
coming from high school,
Yeah.
again, it's a different level now
Mhm.
where you're not having the ease of scoring goals that I think
Yeah.
you have at the high school level.
Mhm.
What was it like, to stay mentally focused and mentally
Yeah.
locked in to just next game, next
Yeah.
game, next game
Mhm.
until you kind of cracked it in that first one game?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously you wanna start your college career off with a bang, like the first game you play, you wanna
Yeah.
go in there and just score
Right.
and, make a name for yourself. But I think for me, it was a little bit different just waiting for those stars to align and for me to score that first goal, I think was an awesome even though it came the 4th or 5th game, I think it was a sign for me to just keep on moving forward and to forget it. Like, if you don't score one game, just forget about it and keep moving forward and just focus on the end goal.
So do you have any pregame rituals or preparation you do to kind of lock in for the game? Like, are you
Yeah.
a headphones and music person? Do you have like I'm gonna put my shoes on or do this, pack
Yeah.
this way?
Yeah, so I know some people put the, like, right cleat on and the left
Yeah.
cleat, like, they do, like, the superstition stuff. I don't do that, but I do listen to music. I just listen to, like, calming, like, relaxing music, I feel like, because I get so, like, nervous and excited, and, like, I have just so many emotions before a game, so I think the relaxing music helps me, like, calm myself down and, like
So like smooth jazz,
yeah,
elevator
I
music.
guess, yeah, just, like, meditation music, I
Okay.
guess,
Do you
yeah.
have a playlist?
I don't. I just
Okay.
go on the radio and, like,
And you're just
meditation
like
music, yeah,
meditation
because
music?
it's, like, already, like, worked out for you, so
Yeah.
I just it works for me.
And kind of coming out of a game,
Mhm.
kind of like to come down, what's your typical like after game routine?
I don't really have an after game routine. I mean, I really don't. I mean, like, as a team, we go and like we stretch, we cool down.
Mhm.
I guess we just talk a little bit about how the game went, but other than that, not individually.
So looking again where you guys are at the season,
Yeah.
what are your current goals with UNLV,
Mhm.
this team this year in the program,
Yeah.
and then future just for your college career? Do you have anything set where you have kind of some aspirations or similar to in high school where you said, you know what, I really think I can make that Gatorade Player of the Year? Do you have any of those that you have set for yourself?
Yeah. So as a team, definitely to win a Mountain West Conference championship. I think that's a goal for everyone every season. And right now we're in sixth place, which six teams have to 6 teams are allowed to go to the Mountain West Conference
Okay.
championship or the conference tournament. And for us, these next 3 games are really important. So I think just taking it one game at a time, I think we can get there, and I'm really excited to see where we go. And individually, of course, it's definitely I have a lot of goals. I think I would say even individually just win a Mountain West Conference championship, but even like maybe breaking records any way I can, just making a name for myself here at UNLV, I think is something that I'm really wanting to do in the next couple of years.
So talk to me about your UNLV coach.
Mhm.
What's that relationship been like so far
Yeah.
and kind of how you've now adjusted to being a part of this team?
Mhm.
Give me a little bit of insight on her style
Yeah.
and how that differed from
Yeah.
kind of like high school level.
Yeah, I love my head coach. She's awesome. She's really positive, and I think from a coach you really do need that like positive feedback, reinforcement. So I think her coaching style is awesome, and I'm glad that I'm able to be here with her. And she was the assistant coach with me for club, so I think I kind of got like a little bit of idea of how she coached,
Mm.
which that even made me more excited to go with her into college. But she even played for the Mexican national team like back in the day, and I think it's just really cool to learn a lot about a game from someone that has so much experience. So I'm grateful to be a part of this with her.
Let's talk about your support system. So
Mhm.
we talked a little bit about kind of trainers and
Yeah.
people that you use from a sports perspective,
Mhm.
and we kind of noted, we talked about your brother a little
Mhm.
bit and sports being in the family,
Yeah.
but having, one, you're staying home, so
Mhm.
being able to be close to family,
Yeah.
but what does it mean to you to have your family as that support system
Yeah.
for your career and kind of everything that you're working
Yeah.
towards?
I'm so grateful. Like, I think that is probably another big reason why I stayed home, just to be able to greet my family, say hi to them after the game, just like talk to them. I think just having them around me after a game just makes it that much more of a memorable experience. And like, yeah, not even I get to go to my little brother's games or whatever that is, soccer, football, basketball, and even my my older younger brother, JJ, I'm able to watch his football games, his basketball games, but everyone is able to come to my games, and I think that makes it a lot easier. Like, if I was out of state, it'd be hard for everyone to come and travel, but my
Right.
grandmas are there, my grandparents are there, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my aunts, uncles, like, they're all, like, there, my cousins, like, everyone. So I'm appreciative of that.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And again, you kind of mentioned you still utilize some of those trainers and coaches
Mhm.
that you had early, still
Mhm.
as you're now into your kind of college career, and they've now followed you on this journey as well, right?
Yeah. I haven't been training with them in season because it's kind of hard with, like, the games, but
Hmm.
I am grateful for for all of their support because I think they really do want to see me succeed and and just succeed in my dreams one day. Yeah.
So now that club's over, that would usually take place in the summer. Do you kind of
Yeah.
have an idea of what that summer routine's going to look like?
I really haven't thought about that, like, at all. So I
I don't know
guess
if the team still does
oh,
stuff
like, with the college
or
team?
even outside,
Um,
because that's when club, right,
yeah,
would
no,
usually
I know what you're
happen.
saying. Well, everyone on my team college, like, they all disperse because they're all gonna go back home and
Yeah.
everything. So for me, I don't even know. Probably just, like, find a team to train with for the summer. Obviously, I have to keep myself in shape, so, like, do, running. I did last summer, do running, training with, my strength and conditioning coach from club, so probably still that.
Okay.
But just any way I can to keep myself fit, to keep myself strong, like, any way just to keep my senses sharp for the next season.
So I'm going to do kind of a two-part question
Okay.
here. If you could look back to young Trinity
Okay.
along this journey,
Uh-huh.
is there anything that you learned that you would look back to her and kind of give her kind of heads up or say, expect this, don't
Yeah.
expect this?
I think the biggest piece of confidence, even for myself now, but I think I've gotten better, is just having self-confidence. Because even when things aren't going your way, just know that things will work out for you. Just to go day by day, not to think too far into the future, not to think about the past because you can't control that. Just to enjoy it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could kind of take a look from everything that you've done, all the
Mhm.
accomplishments you've had,
Yeah.
if you were speaking to young girls that were looking to get into sports,
Yeah.
what is it about soccer that you would kind of recommend above, a reason for them to, maybe give it a try?
Yeah. I just love everything about it. I think you learn just so much. I mean, that's with any sport. You learn just so much about yourself. And I think with soccer, like, as being a young girl and playing soccer, I think you grow to love the sport even more. So even starting at a young age, you just learn to enjoy the experiences you have with the people around you, with your family, because they're supporting you, and they should give it a shot because it's obviously fun and I love it, and I think that they would too if they give it a shot.
Okay.
'Cause everything
Now,
about
did you play indoor at all?
um, I don't really play indoor, but I mean I'll train indoor,
Okay.
like, yeah, but I don't really.
Because indoor was like a whole, I remember,
It's
like it's a
different.
whole different sport
I
almost.
actually, you know what? I did play for a little bit. I don't know if I was on an indoor team, but,
Mhm.
like, my club team would go and play indoor games a little
Yeah.
bit, and you'd, like, use the walls
Yeah,
and
I
to,
know
like,
our
play.
outdoor
I
club
know.
hated indoor
Yeah.
team, like, it was
Uh-huh.
like a rivalry,
Yeah.
but indoor was just it's more fast paced,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Because you have walls
You
and
have a
it's,
wall,
like,
yeah.
such a smaller
Uh-huh.
space that's just like
Well, it's kinda like you cheat a little bit
Yeah,
because
you
you just
do.
play the wall and like, there's not gonna be a player there in real life, so
Yeah.
you go around 'em like, "What
Yeah,
is
and that's why
this?"
I like outdoor club hated it because you were learning I shouldn't trash
Bad
talk indoor,
habits,
but
yeah.
bad habits.
It was bad habits, exactly.
Because you're
Yeah.
learning what you need to do and when for indoor,
Yes.
which weren't applicable at all
No.
for outdoor.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it was kind of a cheat all the way around because, again, for me, I loved indoor too because running conditioning was so much less. It's more like basketball.
Yeah.
Like that's my comparison was indoor soccer for me was like basketball. It's
Yeah.
like a small court. It's kind of just back, forth, back, forth,
Yeah.
back, forth. But you can put up so many more goals, which is why I was.
Well, and there's less people too on the field, so it's like easier to like, you go here and just you can play you in the wall versus one person just like.
So with your kind of this whole experience of playing soccer in Las Vegas and kind of the part of the reason I brought up indoor was most of your kind of training and stuff outside. Like in the summers here, it gets crazy hot. So how did you kind of manage summers and still being able to play soccer? Or did you just brave the heat? Because I mean, sometimes at 110, 115.
Like my running training, my speed training, and then the other people I train with, we do like it's indoor, so it's like either like in the garage or in like their own facility. But my other trainer that she used to be my coach, whatever. She purposely trains outside and like she purposely like runs me hard.
Yeah.
Because you have to get used to the heat. Like even for UNLV, we train in the middle of the day, the hottest part of the day, just to get used to the heat. So although it's not the best, you get prepared the best for like the circumstances you play in a game. So
water, pretty important.
Yes, very important. Yes.
Yeah, for coming from Wisconsin, we use indoor the same way, but for the winter.
Yeah.
So like in the winter, you can't do anything.
Well, you can't get the snow, right?
You can't do anything outside. So that's where playing at least in indoor facilities and practicing became big. And then they tried to not let us do indoor club, but that's when some of us would kind of branch out a little bit into that space. But yeah, I think anywhere it's hard. I'm trying to think where soccer works as a 24/7 sport. I think that's what volleyball and basketball have that advantage. You're just in the gym, so you don't have to worry about like weather conditions at all or anything.
I totally
like that.
Well, and even weather conditions like affects the way you play. Like we travel to higher elevations like Wyoming or Utah, and it's just you just feel sluggish and when you're running, so it's good to adjust any way you can, like playing outside.
So when you look back to soccer, like with club, with all the travel you've done, are there any either memorable moments or when you look back, and it could be something we already talked about, to things that like one standout performance moment that like stayed with you throughout your journey into today?
Wait, awards or
Can be
anything?
Like I can look back and so in basketball, we won state championship, but I can remember like a specific play that happened to me where I'm like never going to forget.
Yeah. I think I try to remember everything I can just so I can look back and see like my growth. But I think the biggest thing right now would be Gatorade Player of the Year because I think it's just a testament to everything I was able to do in high school, and I think it embodies everything that I was a part of. So definitely that.
So kind of cap it off, because I think this is equally important as those high moments. And we talked about state championship loss as well as the state championship win.
Yeah.
Through your sports performance and athletic journey, what was kind of the lowest point you got to? Either a specific game, specific moment, and then kind of coming out of that, how did you then pull yourself back up? And like, what were the like tools or things that you did to like come out on the other side of that?
I think like that my biggest enemy is self-confidence. So when I don't believe in myself that I can do this or do that, and I go into a game and I don't perform to, I would say, my best ability, I feel down. And then, you go into the next couple of games and you rock that same momentum and you kind of want to get out of it. So I think for me, just dealing with the adversity that you deal with in games and just trying to get yourself out of that. I mean, whether that's in club, high school, I experienced it everywhere. And even to this day, I do. So I just try my best to get out of that funk and just focus on the next game at hand.
So you have high expectations for yourself.
Yeah, I try,
Set the bar pretty high. Would you say that then you're your own worst critic? Like you hold yourself to certain standards?
I think I would say that, yeah. I need to work on it, but I think to a certain extent it's good for me because I want to keep pushing myself to be the best that I can every day.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to thank you for coming on the podcast. I think telling your story again, looking at the journey through high school and then staying here in Vegas and playing for UNLV is awesome and amazing. We're glad you're here and playing for us. But I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. Before we go, I want to let people know where they can find you. So I'm going to give you the camera right here in front of you and have you look into that and tell us where we can find you on Instagram so they can check out kind of your profile and follow along with your journey at UNLV.
Okay. My Instagram is trin.buchanan underscore 23. So that's my Instagram. Go follow me. Yeah.
Perfect.
All
Well,
right.
again, thank you for joining the
Yes.
podcast. We want to thank you guys all for watching. And this is the Anything for Sports podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Anything for Sports and on YouTube at Anything for Sports TV. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much.